Good morning, Shlog fans. I believe we are in number 28, which is kind of crazy. 28 already, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching them. It means a lot. Out for a hike with the dog. Hey, dog. There she goes. We're out of Peach Valley, kind of doing a check on conditions, and also it's relatively close to the shop. And I can tell you right now, conditions are pretty good. Like, it's drying up fast. Kind of take a look around, and it's hard to see with the sun, but even here on this backside, there's only a little bit of snow. So it's not gonna be long before this is all hero dirt, which is really, really cool. Very, very exciting. Check the weather, it's supposed to be good for, I don't know, over a week at least. So yeah. Peach might be full go here real quickly. Very exciting. If you guys haven't watched my video from yesterday, definitely check it out. I went and rode Delta, which is to the north of us, about 20 minutes. And it was great. I mean, it snowed the night before and was kind of greasy, but not enough snow to really cause a problem. So it was awesome. Was able to climb the biggest hill out there, which is not really that big of a hill, but pretty exciting because I didn't know for sure if I was gonna make it. Also in that video, I show you guys how to make the ultimate moto breakfast burrito, which I'm pretty proud of. So yeah, I'm excited. Gonna be an awesome week, got lots of work to do. Be doing forks on a KLX 450, so that'll be brand new. I'll do that all in depth if you guys are interested. I'll probably do a separate video on the forks. Gonna kind of try to keep the daily Shlog for tips and tricks, little things, and just kind of what it looks like to run a motorcycle shop in the modern world. But also make like specific videos on specific things. It seems like people like that. Let me know what you think about that idea. Let me know if you want the whole thing in the Shlog, or if you'd rather have a separate video that goes in depth, and then the Shlog, like I said, is just kind of the highlights of the day. Let me know. Definitely comment below. It means a lot when you do, and I like conversing with you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna get after it. Keep walking here. I don't have too much longer before I got to get to the shop. All right, without further ado, let's get to the daily Shlog. Mail time, mail time, mail time. Super stoked. So I'm a huge fan of Bulletproof Designs. They're out of the Kansas City, Missouri area. Run and owned by an awesome dude named Nate Dog and Nate Scott. Nate, if you're watching, I'm stoked on you guys so much. But so they make awesome guards for dirt bikes, like this radiator guard, and they make disc guards and really cool swing arm guard to help keep from bending the tabs that hold the chain guide on your swing arm, and a bunch of other stuff, I think. Anyway, those are the things I use, are the disc guards and the radiator guards and the swing arm guards. And the really cool thing about them is that it's a lifetime warranty, which I honestly am like, you guys are crazy. And that's even on disc guards. Let me show you something. Like, that disc guard is lifetime warranty. If I break it or bend it so bad that it doesn't work anymore, they'll send me another one. That's crazy time. And crazy time on the radiator guards, because I did this to my radiator guards, broken, gnarly. I'll show you what's left on the motorcycle. Let's see, right in there, there's a little blue piece still on there. But you'll see that the radiator is awful straight. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's real close to perfect. And I broke the radiator guards, and I sent Nate a message like, hey dude, I broke these guards, can I get another one? And without sending him any money or anything, bing, I got a brand spanking new one. Dude, how good is that? So, stoked about that. Thank you thank you, Bulletproof Designs. If you need radiator guards, disc guards, things like that, go check them out. I'll put a link in the description for their website so you guys can do that, because seriously, some of the best in the business. Really, really appreciate everything they do. So I'm stoked. Time to get to work now. I think I'm actually going to work on a KTM 690 first, because it's easy and I can get it done real fast. We're putting a lowering link and then tightening up the steering head bearings, because someone installed steering head bearings and did do a good job. So we're going to fix that for them. But first things first, it's coffee time. And again, going with the Black Rifle Coffee Company, Beyond Black, man, this stuff is awesome. Again, thank you, Jimmy Neihart. Thank you very much for that. Very, very appreciative and grateful. So I'm going to make this cup of coffee, and while I do that, I'm going to push this KTM up here. So, the KTM 690. This is the Enduro R whatever. I'm not sure what year it is. I don't think it really matters much. What do you guys think about these bikes? Comment below what you think about the KTM 690. I mean, it's kind of neat and all, but my personal opinion is I don't really know what it's for. I mean, I guess I do know what it's for. It's obviously a dual sport, you know, adventure-y, small adventure bike, things like that, but I don't know. I've ridden a few of them. I've never been all that impressed with the power or the suspension. Like in the dirt, I think it'd make a really great supermoto bike for like around town, and even like a, you know, leave this wheel size on it and maybe buzz around dirt roads. But man, it's an awfully big, heavy machine to not be able to do a lot of harder stuff, and the gas tank situation doesn't make me stoked because it doesn't hold much gas, and then to buy a bigger one is like a thing and expensive, and I don't know. I just don't. I mean, it's a neat bike. I like bikes, so it's cool because of that. Because it's got knobbies and it goes. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about these things. Okay, guys, let me break in here real fast with an announcement about the channel. So we are super close to hitting 2,000 subscribers. Thank you, first of all, for all of you who have subscribed and shared and given us likes and all that. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. But when we hit 2,000, which should be pretty soon, really, because we're at 1,800 something. Anyway, when we hit 2,000, I'm going to be giving away a hat and hoodie combo. I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do that yet, like what the criteria are. But definitely going to be giving away a hat and hoodie combo when we hit 2,000. And then stay tuned, because there's big stuff coming for when we hit 5,000, 10,000, and all that as we go. Thanks, guys. Let's get back to the video. Alright, so the 690, regardless of what we think about it, we are going to put a lowering link on it from KYB Link. And I like KYB Link as far as a company goes, man. They're great. They make a nice product. I think they're priced right. I don't know what he paid for this. Let's see, 150 bucks. He brought me this part. He's a friend, so that's all right. I get it. I don't make a lot of money on KYB Links anyway, so it's no big deal. Yeah, super easy to install. So I'll kind of give you guys the lowdown as we go here. So with installing a lowering link, you kind of have two options as far as how you get the thing up off the ground to get the weight off of it to do it. You can either use a normal stand, and this is for dirt bikes or these big street bike. Anyway, this thing. You can either use like a normal pop-up stand, which works just fine, but the problem is when you do that, you get it off the ground, you do the link, you then have to raise the wheel up to get the link to, you know, if you're lowering it, you got to raise the wheel up. Anyway, and that's fine. It works. You can do it. I like to use just a kind of old school bottle jack style stand or jack and get the weight off, take the other link, and then you can just ease the bike down to get the distance right, put it back in, And for me, it just saves a little bit of hassle. 19 millimeter. All right, so that thing's in there. So this thing may need more work than he thinks, but that's okay. We can do it. It's probably rusted in there, which probably means the bearings are not anyway. But that's all right. Let me show you how to get that out without damaging the things. If you take this off and you start beating on this bolt with a hammer, you'll end up messing up these threads, and anyway, then you got to buy a new bolt, and that sucks and all that. So what I do is I leave that on there, and then I get my thing I'm going to hit it with, and then here you're going to hit on the nut and not on the bolt. And that thing is all sorts of seized up in there. Welcome to my life and the life of the motorcycle world. So let's see what we can do to break this thing loose. Probably start with putting a wrench on this side, see if that does anything for us. Alright, so after further inspection, first of all, that rusted bolt's going to be a problem, but we'll deal with it. But also, we're going to have to take these foot peg mounts off to get to the upper part of that link anyway, which means that we have to get them off of this skid plate because of the way it all works. I think I'm going to try this side first. So we're going to have two 10mm bolts, and then this big thing, which is a 19. So, which is the swing arm pivot, but hopefully this pulls out and leaves the swing arm bolt in while we take this off. So we're going to find out. Like, as you can tell, I've never done one on one of these. But, so we're learning together. So that's good. That's cool, but check this out. This hole, I don't like to go in because it's been dinged. That's okay though. One of the cool things about KTM bolts, not all of them, but these ones, they've got a torque drive in the end too, so we can still get it out of there. It's, I believe, a T30. Yep. There we go. There we go. So that's kind of interesting. The brake, which obviously I knew, is all attached to that, but you can just kind of swing it out of the way. We gotta put a 10mm on this. Gotta put a socket on this side too. So when you're one-personing this kind of stuff, a breaker bar comes in real handy. Obviously an extra socket, so you can kind of hang that on there. And come over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to leave it in there. See if we can't start to move it out the other way. Cool, so that one's moving way better than the other one. So now we need to figure out what we're going to do here. My guess is this is going to require some heat and some penetrating lube, but we'll try to hit it from this side, see if it'll go out the other way just by chance. Alright, so it's about to get interesting. So this bolt, obviously not coming out. I'm going to use the air hammer. But to do that and not ruin the bolt, what we're going to do is we're going to put this on. The end of the air hammer is pointed, and it's going to go inside that bolt. But so that we don't spread the bolt out, we're going to have the nut on it. And then nice. So penetrating lube, heat, and patience is what we're going to use. And this stuff from Worth, it works really good. PB Blaster works great too. Really, most of them seem to do a good job. Ooh, it moved a little. Okay, so I'm gonna sign off here for a little bit and just do a lot of spraying of the stuff and the heating and the whatnot and just wait. And I'll let you know when we get it out. Aha! I got it! So stoked. There is the place where it used to be. Super happy. So that took what I would consider a monumental effort. Let me clean this lens. Okay, not monumental, but there's the pin, bolt, whatever you want to call it, with all the rust. So now we got to take a look at the bearing that went through, but I think it might actually be okay. It's just so if you look in there, it's actually pretty greasy. It's just that it was seized to that. So that means two things. One, that seal right there was doing its job, and the one on the other side, and it was well packed at some point. So that's awesome. Customer's super lucky that we don't have to replace all these bearings. Really happy for him and for me, because I hate to have things like this just up in the air waiting, which is what it would have been had I need to get those bearings. So, but yeah, awesome. Super happy about that. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to grease those bearings even more, and then I got to clean the inside of this. And what I'm going to do is put this in the ultrasonic to get it really nice and shiny. Same with the bolt. Then we'll clean it all up, use some Scotch-Brite and emery cloth inside here to make it all nice and happy and put it all back together. So should be good. All right, so now we're getting ready to put the KYB Link on. One of the cool things about putting about KYB Links in general is that right there, it's got a grease zerk right on it, so you don't have to peel this whole thing apart to re-grease it. Now the bottom part down, low, you got to take that apart to grease it, but it's sweet that the upper part you can just grease with a grease gun and you're good to go. So yeah, we're gonna slide this thing on, and I'm still waiting on the ultrasonic to heat up for the lower end of it, but we're gonna go ahead and get this on and get the bolt through and be ready to rock and roll. Lots of grease. More grease. Now going into the link, the lower part. There we go. Now we'll go grab that part out of the ultrasonic spot and we'll put her back together. We'll be ready to rock. Now we got to get rid of some of that rust. The inside of this actually looks pretty good. Probably run a little bit of something through there, but the outside's great, and that's what we just greased up. So now we're gonna take care of this. All right, a little bit of 600 grit emery cloth, wrap around here. I'm just gonna sand that up. Take this stuff, kind of roll it lengthways. Then you take it, put it in here, kind of sand. So that looks pretty good. Got all the rust off. Got some pitting in there, but I'm not going to go so far as to change the size of this thing. But check it out. Nice and smooth, just like we want it. Now, come over here. Put that back in. Now, for the grease on this, I like to use the spray grease stuff. And see, this is where you want the jack. So you can see where it doesn't line up. That looks awfully close. Not quite, but that's okay. So now we can drop it just a little bit, then try it, then drop it just a little more. There we go. All nice and greasy and happy, just like we want it. Bike is lowered. Now we're gonna flip her around and get the weight off the front wheel so that we can fix these steering head bearings. All right, so now we gotta fix the steering head bearings. I'm gonna show you how bad these things are. So you're taking a look right here. Look right down in here, this area. See how much it moves. I'm gonna go to the front of the bike, grab the wheel, and pull out on it. Oh, that's awesome. Not sure who replaced these bearings, but someone just did. And they clearly didn't know how to set it right. So, and honestly, KTMs are like the easiest thing in the world. So really, all we got to do is loosen up these, loosen up these, loosen up that, and then torque this to spec, and then tighten them all back up. First thing I'm going to do is see how loose it is. Oh yeah. Alright, so to get the right torque on this, we're going to have to take these bars off, which is no big deal. So we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, got the bars loose, got a socket on there, got an adapter for this guy. We're going to set it at 20 Newton meters. I'm going to tighten these down. There we go. Now, I always like to double check, triple check everything. So you want to make sure that the steering is still smooth, which it is, but you also want to grab this wheel and kind of pull on it. You're trying to take the forks and twist them like this, or torque them like this. And you don't want to feel any movement there, so that feels good. So bolt the bars back on, get this thing off the lift, and move on to the next job. Alright guys, so the next job today is a set of forks on a KLX 450. 2008 or 9. They only made them for a few years, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to do an in-depth video on this because these are different than I think any of the other ones I actually have videos of. But they are just really KYB forks, which is awesome because KYB forks are rad. Now, fork tubes, lay those down over here, out of the way. Spring out of the way. Perch, we call that spring perch. So these forks are like the best forks in the world, but this piece is one like not awesomeness. And the problem with it is that when you hit things really hard, oil gets in here and will blow these things out and explode this, and then the fork doesn't work right at all. So fortunately this one hasn't had that happen, so we're going to modify this thing to fix it because you really should, and it's super easy. I'll show you how we do it. Actually, this step bit is going to work perfectly. Drill, you just need one hole. Just like that will do. You're good to go. It'll help relieve the pressure, it won't break, and we'll be super duper happy. And this is the same Maxima 5 weight that I put in the cartridge. And we're good to go. Well, there you go. I'm not going to show you the other one because it's exactly like this one. Like I said, this is going to be a in-depth video all by itself, and then you guys just got to see some highlights for the Daily Shlog. So, hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for the Daily Shlog. Great day. I hope you guys learned something, and you guys want to join me tomorrow because I'm going to be working on the Trail 70 which is going to be cool. Mainly kind of getting together a list of what we need, parts we need, stuff like that. But we're going to be going through the whole thing and making this thing awesome over the next however long it takes to get everything. So that's going to be good. So guys, thank you so much. If you think we've earned it, subscribe to the channel. It does mean a ton and helps us out a lot. Also, and most importantly, I want you to spread the gospel of two wheels and get out and ride your dirt bikes!